Good evening, folks, and welcome to the official ARK community. This is Fortunate coming at you. It is now Saturday, November 19th, which means we are very excited to be here with you again for another AMA podcast from our founder and some of the team. We will not be having a special guest tonight, but we will still have a wonderful podcast, and I'm looking forward to hearing every bit of it. The floor is yours, Mr. Atlas.
Thank you very much, Fortunate, for the introduction. Welcome, folks. This is the podcast number 19. I am Atlas. Here at ARK, we will have some updates for you. We're going to have some conversation with our community. We're very excited. We're very happy with the results. We sold out yesterday our second public round. It was around 12 minutes. We extended the possibility for more folks to be able to come and participate and join. And we think it was effective. The week before that, we sold a total of 1,000, I believe it's 1,000 NFTs. No, it was 900 at a 2 NFT limit per purchase per wallet. And that sold out in just 2 minutes. So we put these restrictions of only 1 NFT, sold out. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. We absolutely hear the interest of the investors here. They've done their due diligence. They've looked under the hood. They've seen what's different here at ARK, and they are really buying into our vision, the culture here. For example, being here every single night with you. You know, the ARK rewards never stop. The ARK rewards keep always earning for you. So with that, we're also here 24/7 to answer any questions. I would like to give you guys an update. We had some great work that was done here on the Telegram server. The commands have been updated to provide our investors tools to be able to get information very easily. So I'll bring Mr. S23, the man behind, the bots, the man behind the commands. Fortunate also does a lot of work here on the command functions. So today was actually S23. I believe that really put the work in. Please step up, sir. Tell us what you did and how it works. Show us around.
Thank you, Atlas. Hello, folks. We did some. We put in. I want to say we. It's not like my style to say I, because it's the team. It's the synergy is great. We'll be working together so good, and the guys are amazing, and Fortunate too, and Brad and everybody else. So I'm gonna say we input some new commands in the Telegram group, which will be applied and are applied to all our international groups and any other group that's associated that belongs to ARK. So wherever you are, in whichever group you choose to visit or are at any point of time, you just type the same command and you get the same results. It's all like homogeneous, and this is making everybody's life easier, more productive. Answers can be given faster, because you have to understand that ARK is in very high demand, and it's a project that's very exciting, and lots of people coming in every day. I'm gonna can I give the example of what I just talked about?
Absolutely. We want to understand how it works. Yes, please.
Yeah, for instance, our China group, in just one day, it's got 100 new members. So our international communities are growing very, very, very fast, and we need to have everything organized and efficient to be in an optimum condition, so that we can have the people over, help them, and get them to know the system, and get them to love ARK, and to embrace it, and invest in it. So, as I said, these new commands and more that are coming are essentially parts of the white paper, because Many times when we're talking with investors, and like we always advise, and that's general advice. It's not like because people are bored of answering, or there's something, some problem with answering like a question, but it's much more efficient. Like people don't really get into the uh, how do you say that? They don't go to read the full white paper sometimes. They expect the white paper to come to them. Let's say that. Okay, so it's much more simpler, it's much more faster and efficient. Like if we can get like those bits of the white paper served right there and then, answering the question, and uh, uh, doing that always includes extra information. So it's working better for educating people. So like the piece of information they're going to get back with these commands, it's not about just the question, it's about the topic, like a little more information on the topic, and gradually people get much more educated. And by the repetition of these posts that are the official post, like the official text, it's the official system, how the project works. By the repetition, by seeing these posts repeat themselves as answers, the education comes into the Telegram instead of asking people to go to the white paper to get educated. So I always found it much more efficient, a much more efficient way to add the automation in a Telegram group, and make life simpler and enrich the experience. So that's one of the things that we've been working on. 60 new commands were added today, and more will be added each and every day. And then there will be a list with a description that there are these commands and this is what they do, so people can actually use them as often as they want. Like team leaders can use them to educate their teams. These are great tools, everyday tools that people are going to know and use all the time, and they will have great results with them. Also, today we have 6 new groups. We have 6 new countries added to our international communities. Uh, would you like me, Atlas, to say which countries?
Yes, please go right ahead.
Okay, so today we have added Portugal, Sweden, Ireland, Norway, Romania, and the very important group for a great community to be that will be in ARK, Vietnam. So tomorrow is another day, and more groups will come. As I said before, in any of those groups, if you enter the same command, you will get the full results like you are in the main group, and that's going to be kept at that level. It's going to be updated. These commands will always be updated in all communities. It's going to be, I estimate, at least 40 or 50 art groups total. So it's a huge community that we're building right now. We're not talking local level. We're not talking small time. We're talking big time. So this is a project that will evolve to something that's, I think, like not many have done in the space, and it's going to be done with quality and organized, and it's already showing like it's different than anything else. But yeah, this difference is going to be so clear as we grow, even more clear. And yeah, that's it's been a busy day, but it's definitely a very pleasant and very creative thing to be working nonstop on something as beautiful and as exciting, innovative as the ARK and this team. With this team,
Let's go, man. That's that's something to be really, really excited about, brother. Fantastic, amazing, amazing work, and I love the way that this is coming together. The culture here is an international culture. We need to be able to communicate with investors on a global level in their own language, where it's easy to understand, and they could really thrive and grow and be a part of ARK, even if they're not going to be able to be here, listen to these podcasts. We want those communities to sustain them and educate them. Let's get this crypto. Thank you, S23, man. Fantastic work, fantastic update. You're on fire. A lot of passion in your belly that's showing. A lot of hard work that's coming through. Just remember, get some rest. Take care of your health. We don't want you burning out. We've got a very, very long journey ahead here on the ARK. We don't want you getting scurvy or getting sick in any way. Mr. Brett Norden is here tonight, as always. Would you like to step up, talk with us, give us a little bit of an update, maybe talk about the work we did today here as a team with our shared vision? That was pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, that seems like yesterday. Yeah, we did a really great team building exercise and a shared vision exercise that's gonna ultimately it's gonna end up I think affecting the community as well as we develop our roadmap, our mindset, and our communications around that. It's going to disseminate out across our products, our people, and then also trickle into the community. And I think what we're seeing here is we're attracting those like-minded people to the project. And, even though we haven't even launched yet, we're already getting, people reaching out for partnerships and product opportunities, investment opportunities. So I think that's just going to continue to build. So it's really exciting as we kind of sharpen what our long-term vision is as a team. I don't know any other crypto projects that do that. It's possible that some do, maybe at a Polkadot level or crypto.com level. It's more of a corporate feel, but for us being the size we are and the startup that we are, I think we're starting out on the right foot. And if we can all be marching to the same beat and share that same goal and vision, then I think we'll have a much better chance for success in obtaining it. So yeah, it was a great session. We got closer as a team, learned a lot about each other, and yeah, everything's just kind of vibing over here. It's great. We had a great development session today. We're already looking forward to shaping our product portfolio, what we're planning on launching and when. And so yeah, we'll see updates trickle out as we get closer to the launch. And be able to reveal some more about what our plan is. But for right now, it's all about the pre-sales. It's all about building the community, as S23 said. It's all about laying that foundation that we'll have in place when we go to launch and we have a successful launch. And then it's just setting up the bowling pins and knocking them down because we know what we need to do.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, a lot of great work is happening. The team's just so professional, so talented, and coming together, realizing that we have individual goals, but we have a commitment here for a long-term basis. We want these guys to be incentivized, motivated, tapped into what we're doing, tuned into the focus and our vision. So it's really important that we're all on the same page and collaborating, bringing ideas, and doing our best. There's no doubt that they're extremely motivated. Seeing the sellout of every one of our rounds has definitely been well received. They see that they have a community here that's hungry, that's bought in, that wants us to produce amazing quality products for them. So as we move on, I think it's an important exercise. And look, we're also doing a lot of work behind the scenes on just adding more value, making things a lot easier, making things that are going to attract our investors to the growth, from the external investment to the partnerships that Brett Norden was just touching on. And as we get closer and we're able to start revealing some of these things, I think you guys are going to just be extremely, extremely impressed and happy that you're here at ARK, that you're a part of this community, that you're investing with us. And it's a long road ahead. So let's have fun with it. Let's create, and let's grow. We want to see our friends. We want to see our family. We don't want to leave anyone behind. I've talked about that. I think it was yesterday's podcast. I have friends that haven't been able to share the abundance and the success that I've been able to achieve in my life. And sometimes I feel a little sad that they've been a little lazy, or they just haven't seized the opportunity. And then when giving them those opportunities, they get a little greedy. They don't want to sell, their bags, and they don't want to take profits. So look, that's all built into here. I personally feel extremely comfortable to bring those friends that I'm telling you about, to bring my family members to sleep at night very comfortably, knowing the security that's here, the stability that the smart contracts are enabling folks to follow a regimen, to follow a strategy, to get their initial investments back in their pockets. Passive income means paying yourself. Once you get that initial back, you're sailing on the water, and folks are understanding that. They're seeing that mechanism is the right spirit. It's the right thing to do. It's healthy for the charts. It's healthy for all investors. I don't know if you want to add more to that, Brett.
No, I think that there's, right now there's a lot of discussions going on behind the scenes in different Telegram groups and things about, having a decentralized platform that has levels of controls. And we've seen kind of what's happened with some of the other projects that didn't have control. So I think it's what the goal of the token is at the end of the day. And we know we have a passive income protocol here. We have a passive income token. It's not a trading token. And so I think that a lot of the volatilities and manipulations that we've seen have been related to the fact that they've the daily ROI dApps have been hinged to a token that can be heavily traded. Everything from arbitrage to stacking in wallets and dumping on markets, taking advantage of other people's liquidity, things like that. So we've kind of forecasted a lot of that into our model. And that's going to really help out smooth the ride for us and take a lot of stress off the system, and also the liquidity controller. And a lot of people have questions about the liquidity controller right now because they've seen other projects that don't have controls in place attempt to institute that mechanism to help stabilize the price. And I think we understand those issues and situations pretty well. And with the tokenomics and the mechanics that we have in place, we're going to see a much better result than some of the other people who've tried to implement that on these type of systems. So yeah, I feel really good about the long-term opportunity. Obviously, we need to build. We need to have external revenue coming in. We need to have transparency built into that, which flows into our DAO concept. It's not a whale group. It's a well-balanced DAO made up of legacy NFT holders in the protocol. So a lot of people are focused right now on what the legacy NFT can do for their compounding rates. But in my view, the long-term view, the real value in the legacy NFT is being part of that DAO and having a future say in what ARK does, the partnerships that we collaborate on, and even maybe bringing your own project to the table if you have one, or an investment opportunity, because we're open to that. And we want to keep that spirit of entrepreneurship, sharing, open collaboration. And we want to keep that as part of our community and part of our culture.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, Brett. Is there anyone that has a question for us this evening? We'd love to hear from you guys. All right, I guess no questions at this time. NATO, I think this is going to be a record. Do you perhaps have a question for us?
Maybe a comment and people. Oh no, not at this time. But maybe a comment if you don't mind.
We would love a comment. Thank you, NATO.
Yeah, to echo the other idea of the NFT. NFTs where basically you believe in the long term, and so you want to grow, you want to compound more aggressive, and also I feel yes, there would be a great additional benefit, a huge benefit with the utilities in the future that you guys are committing to. So, and also the down voting rights. So yeah, it's. I would like to learn more, perhaps, about how you envision the appreciation of that, the NFT side. But I know it's based on future roadmap. So, but I think is a good starting point, like a basic NFTs. But it is harder to do that with more wallets, right? With more capital needed. But I guess, would you say there are certain like benefits to just holding at least one NFT, would you say, because of the voting rights? Is there you think there's going to be an additional benefit for that specifically?
Well, that, and also you're going to be part of the NFT rewards pool as well. So there's an income stream attached to it, which we hope will ROI and pay back the price of the legacy NFT. So if you're planning on using a legacy NFT, you basically stake it along with your ARK Vault account, and then you're going to keep that in that ARK Vault account until you reach the 80,000 max payout number. But in that meantime, you're going to be getting BUSD rewards for that wallet through that NFT. So there's the financial benefits, there's the DAO level benefits, there's also obviously the ARK Vault, the compounding with.
Okay, excuse me. I had a little bit of a fuzziness. The rewards pool is the big deal. So do you have an idea when that could ROI, like from a value standpoint of NFT? That would be a good thing to know, right? Idea wise.
Brett, I don't know why, but I'm not able to hear you. Is anyone else able to hear Brett right now?
Hear me?
Yeah, Brett, I don't know what's going on. We can't hear you. I'll go ahead and answer that. To Brett, maybe want to log back out and come back in, because yeah, there's no sound. You can see you're muting your mic, but
Is that better?
yeah, you're back. Great, fantastic.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so we ran some rough numbers on the legacy NFT, and this is just based on, not having a well built out external revenue stream. As that progresses and develops, part of those revenues will flow into the NFT rewards pool. But we're also feeding that pool with buy and sell tax from the entire ecosystem. So anytime ARK is bought or sold, a 1.5% of that value gets pushed into that legacy NFT rewards pool. So we're going to try to bring in more revenue streams for that. And when like I mentioned, we ran some rough numbers, and we thought, a year would be a decent payback period or an ROI period for that legacy NFT. But as I mentioned, you'd need to keep that staked in your wallet. So while you're enjoying the benefits and you're getting some rewards, you're going to want to hold on to that anyway and keep your DAO votes and all that stuff. And so by the time your 80,000 max payout comes, when you could release that NFT from that wallet and then transfer it to your next wallet, I would have hoped you would have at least well ROI'd by then. So, but
hold on. Are the initial sale? No, this is good. The percentages of, the percent from the 1.5% of the taxes of the 10, right, would be for purchasing, for example, ARK. 10% tax, 1.5% would be going the pool, rewards pool, of which would be distributed to NFT holders, correct?
Yeah, we actually have its own separate tax. So the deposit tax is different than the buy and sell tax. So the buy and sell tax is 3%, and 1.5% of that buy and sell tax goes to the NFT rewards pool.
What about the purchase of, so buy, sell, and deposit, right? So what about the actual purchase of the NFTs itself? Is that going to the rewards pool as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would like, sorry, Brett, for the interruption. I would like that this is a good opportunity to showcase the new commands entered into the system. So if you look into the main chat, Nito, there are three posts, and these are with the commands legacy, which gives you a breakdown of the legacy NFTs and how they work, and the NFT prices is slash NFT price. Then you have the command slash L flow, which is from legacy flow, which gives you the schematics of how that works with the taxation and where everything goes, what goes where, and then you have the slash tax command that gives you a breakdown of how the taxation works. So, like if you take a look at those in similar situations when someone has some questions and everything, like they can be easily answered by just like writing the appropriate command. Sorry, Brett, you can go ahead.
No problem. Yep. And so, yeah, 20% of all of the deposits for the legacy NFTs goes into that rewards pool, and then it's paid out on a daily basis in BUSD. So it just really depends on obviously the less people that are in that pool, the more rewards you're going to get, especially based on early buy and sell volume of ARK. So if you're an early purchaser of the legacy NFT and you have your legacy NFT in place at launch, you're going to benefit more from those rewards than if you got in later, for example. But then there's also the network effect, where if there's more people coming in over time, it's it's going to balance out. But if those aren't legacy NFT holders, then you're going to get the lion's share if there's fewer legacy NFT holders in the pool.
So if I'm in a layman term, if I may, does that mean you would be getting, like, if you had a NFT from before launch, would you be able to then you would make 20% return just from the sales alone of those NFT at launch?
No, that's what's
after they sell out?
That's just what's distributed in the pool, and then it gets paid out. 2% of the pool gets paid out every day and distributed to the legacy NFT holders based on their percent ownership. And the math's a little bit too complicated to do in your head, but basically, a silver is 1/10 of the rewards of a platinum, for example, on the payout side, because the silver is $1,000 and the platinum's 10. So it just depends on the mix of the legacy NFTs in the pool. So it'd be too hard to kind of forecast, who buys what and when, and how much the taxes are and all that kind of stuff.
Hold on, no. Hold on, though. 2% of the pool is distributed daily to the holder. So let's say you have a silver with 1,000, then that means that 200 of that would go to the pool. So after 50 days, you would be getting back 20% of your investment from an NFT standpoint. Is that how we could understand it, or am I wrong?
You have to have a full makeup of the pool with all of the legacy NFTs in there, and then see the composition of your silver relative to the other ones. And it would be too hard for me to describe it on this voice chat, because
Oh no, I'm assuming they're all sold out, for example. Like if they're all sold out.
Yeah, if they were all sold out, then you could look at the chart in the white paper, assuming that we mint 100% of them. But obviously, in the beginning, that's probably not going to be the case. It could be. I don't know. The demand seems relatively strong, and it just depends on people's strategy. And I think as we get closer to the pre-sale of those, we'll be kind of revealing more about the use cases and marketing the opportunity to own one. But I think because they're scarce and there's a fixed number of them, I think a lot of people will be incentivized to buy one if they can.
Okay, it is fuzzy for me, to be blunt.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit fuzzy, because I just want to know if it's possible to give me like an estimated ROI on, like, say, a silver in the beginning. If I got a silver.
It'd be dangerous for me to even say.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have no idea. I don't want to tell you that it's something and it's not, because think about it though. So let's say that there's 1,000 silver NFTs sold, 50 gold and 20 platinum. You have to calculate based on which one you own, the percent of pool that you own, and then you have to estimate how many rewards are flowing into that pool based on buy sell volume, and then calculate 2% of that per day, and then divide that 2% across all of the other legacy NFT holders. So it's really tough. I know what you're after. I wouldn't feel comfortable telling you, what you could expect to see in your wallet, because it's just one component, of the legacy
How
NFT.
are the rewards paid?
In
Are
BUSD.
the rewards dropped, like you said, daily? They said it would drop like as BUSD daily into your like claimable or something?
Yep, you can just you claim them directly to your wallet. It's not attached to the vault. It's a separate investment with a separate reward.
So there would be like a separate place to claim your BUSD that'll be trickling in, right?
Correct.
For your NFTs.
Yep. So you'll have a legacy NFT dashboard, and you'll see your rewards that are there. There's no compounding of the rewards or anything like that. It's just claiming BUSD.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to revisit this point later, maybe, because I'm interested in learning. I think it's possible to calculate. Just I got to understand.
You could estimate, you could estimate it based on your own assumptions, but it would be difficult. You could model it potentially like a calculator, but then you would have to input values that you would think the sales rate of each NFT would be. And then you would also have to input how many buys and sell transactions there were. And then you'd have to estimate the average size of each of those buy and sell transactions to estimate how many rewards are going into the pool. And then you could estimate a payout. So you'd be guessing all over the place.
I know about the buy and sell. I'm not asking really. I mean, that's going to come probably in a huge flood in the beginning,
right?
Okay, because that's going to happen in the launch. But I'm intrigued on the. It's sort of like an elite token in a way, partial elite token with the purchase volume of the of the NFTs, because it's going in the rewards pool, 20% of it, right? That's what you said, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so that would be meaty. That could be meaty in terms of size. And so then based on obviously your proportion of the pool, what percent of the pool you're at, it would be distributed. You said 2% of. Oh, okay. So 2% of that total would be distributed. The current value of the pool 2% of that would be distributed to the holders. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. Yep.
Uh-huh.
And that's so that the pool doesn't run. Yeah, that's so the pool doesn't run dry,
Right. So then it's interesting.
And then when we hook up the external revenue sources, we expand the ecosystem, so we have more products and we have potentially more fees to push into that pool. Our goal is to, pay back those. They're essentially, just like a shareholder, or if you looked at the people that are helping to crowdfund ArkFi. So,
what's the total value of all NFTs if sold?
$6 million.
Okay. So then 20% of that is the maximum that would be in the rewards pool if assuming, it all happened in one shot, let's say, in the beginning, let's say, right?
Yeah, and if there was, at time zero, and then no, obviously,
Yeah,
buy sell fees, and then no external revenue sources, and
of
then no
course,
new
of course, of course.
products, and yeah.
Okay, so then that would mean if you had one NFT of one silver, for example, just thinking out loud, that would be small, but not insignificant. You would have 0.02% of the rewards pool, right?
Correct.
Or
Yeah, if you held
1.7% of the rewards pool, right? And then you'd have 1.2 M on the total rewards, for example, and then that would be your allocation right there times 0.17. Shoot, my brain. Yeah, that's small. That's really small. I mean, just it's small because it doesn't include the additional value of utilities, and stuff that you're going to have. Buy, sell tax is going to be a huge in the beginning. Makes sense to go in before, right before launch. It's going to be huge volume,
Well, even if you held, so, assuming that we minted them all out, we'd be in a situation there where we'd have hundreds of thousands of wallets potentially in the system as well. So, the transaction volume gets significantly higher because we're forcing people to withdraw and sell as well, and we have a flood of new people coming in. So it's not like other protocols where people are just stuffing in their wallet and waiting, So there's some interesting things to think through on that, because if you do hold it and you are playing the game in the ARK vault, which I'm assuming you will be, then you're going to want that in your wallet for 3-4 years until you hit that 80,000 point. So it's well have paid itself out by then, even at a small trickle coming in. But then if you think about the scale of the ecosystem at that point, the revenue sources, all those things, that pool could be pretty significant. And if we wanted to ramp that up and make the rewards more favorable, we could do that as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for it. I think, getting in and holding one early, especially if you're establishing your position in the ARK vault, makes a ton of sense, especially if you have a long-term vision and you want to, participate more closely with future development, voting on, where we handle our investments and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it.
So no, of course, there's going to be more value in there than just that. But I'm just from what I just calculated, assuming it's just in one shot and there's nothing else besides just the sell. Like you purchase silver, for example, and you get 0.017% of the rewards pool. Assuming it all sold, it will take time, right? But let's just say that balances out with the buy, sell, all that. That would be around 200 BUSD from $1,000 purchase of an NFT. Like pretty soon, I would say in a few months, like that probably in a few months. That's what I'm thinking, because you'd have volume, right? Especially in the beginning.
Right.
And then you'd have growth, traction and growth, and you already have a lot of people on the Telegram. I would see how many on the chain, I could see how many holders. And so that would look like it looks like I'm making a case for you, in terms of having there's an from an ROI standpoint, even, liquid ROI standpoint of holding an
NFT.
More
comfortable if you made the case for us.
Oh no, of course I'm able to speak. You guys have you're not able to make forward-looking things, yeah.
Yeah,
thinking.
I feel more comfortable if other people kind of arrive at the same conclusion once they review the benefits of it, the utility of it. Let's say that you only got, after 2 or 3 years, you only got $500 out of it, but you were able to use that inside your ARK Vault wallet. Would you still feel like that was a good, positive investment?
I would feel tremendously great if ARK, not if, but when ARK maintains its flourishes for years to come.
Yeah. So to me, because the rewards are like a little cherry on top, you get the utility from it, and that's probably over, let's say it takes you 3-4 years to max out your wallet with the NFT. To me, getting those rewards back is just like a nice bonus check,
Right, but then also people will be comparing the value of having just purchased the ARK for in a vault versus holding the NFT. They're going to be calculations, and a lot of
Sure.
people are going to want to jump after the controller is range bounding price.
Yeah, I think what's going to
Maintaining price.
happen. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be there'll probably be a little FOMO on the legacy NFTs, and then as people, like you said, they take the money and they put it in the ARK vault. They see the compounding value of that legacy NFT, not from a compounding standpoint, but the value of that increasing as we start to carry out our roadmap and do what we say we're going to do here in the near future. People are going to say, "Hey, I want to, get on board with the DAO and be close to the team this way and make these decisions with everyone else," and they'll see the power of that. And I think that'll attract a lot more. The issue will be is, can you get one? And then at that point, you've kind of missed out on those early rewards and the ramp up of the buy and sells tax coming in from the early volume. So yeah, I think there'll be some people that kind of just miss it because they think it's a compounding thing. They think it's a kind of a race to the finish line thing. But there's a lot more to it. There's more layers to the legacy NFT than that. So
Yeah. Beginning helps. Early helps with volume initially, but because you're banking on the buildup and the traction and whatever, I want to get some alpha. Okay, I want to get some serious alpha with this because I have a feeling there's going to be a big push and growth because you're having some serious influencer, builders, some serious builders around this project, and I believe that the volume is going to be good, and so yeah, that's going to be a good stream there for holders as well as for people to grow faster, and this is a very compared to others, what I'm observing, it's a very challenging structure to I'm not saying to build big because you need some serious capital to do multi-wall strategy, especially if you want to start involving NFTs. I'm just saying. So there's if you load it and you have a max deposit, of course, which is good, but you're talking about a minimum of 7-8 months with a large investment. If you did a singular wallet to max, for example, because ultimately we will max versus several years. The question becomes, what are those players going to do? They're going to add net value to the system, or they're going to be reaping the majority of the rewards from the system relative to others who want to grow over time or who have to, that don't play with NFTs or big capital in front. So do whales win? Do whales take a big value out of the system before the smaller players grow over time? I think it's fair. I think it's fair. Like I said, it was very challenging, very, very challenging. Way more than I will say. That's my observation.
Yeah, the way we structured it was so that those that are making that large capital purchase up front, they're able to go faster. So obviously they're going to have, the liquidity that they brought and put into the system, we're going to put back into development and revenue streams and things like that. That's going to support the liquidity. So it's a way of allowing them to go faster, but knowing that we're going to leverage that capital in a way that's going to support that faster exit for them. So to me, it was a trade-off. And a lot of people say, well, that's a whale's game, and that's people are entitled to an opinion. But I think when you drill into it, the benefit for the system and allowing us to do what we want to do on the back end to build and expand and grow the ecosystem and then make these external investments, we couldn't do it without those legacy NFTs in a fast manner. So it's going to allow us to make larger investments sooner and it's going to allow us to go faster on the development side. So it's a balance, right? If you don't have capital, you slowly just you stop building, you stop bringing in those revenue streams. So to me, we're very thankful and appreciative of those people that want to take that risk with us. And to offset that risk, we're allowing them to get their ROI back sooner if they choose. Now, some people are going to see it as a compound to the finish or a race to the finish, race to the end. But if they do that, they could potentially find themselves withdrawing at higher tax levels, which actually could hurt their ROI. So there's a fine line there that they need to be able to pay attention to and really know what they're doing. So the legacy NFT in the wrong hands could be, not the right financial decision. Now, if their goal is just to max out their wallet and exit the system, then that's fine. We've taken their capital and their upfront deposits and put those to good use. So that's the careful balance that I think we've designed into it. And that would be my kind of answer to that. Is this a whales game? I would say that we appreciate people that are willing to invest in the long-term sustainability of the project through our development and continued growth. And it's going to allow the other people that are playing the longer, slower game a chance to get their money back at some point, because we've been able to, put all of those things in place that are going to bring that revenue in and provide the liquidity for their exit at some point.
Sure, that's fair. I mean, it's very well structured. One thing I was curious, how did you come up with compounds being neutral, not positive?
Relative to NDV?
Yeah, because that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a totally different structure. Well, you're getting that from DRIP. Is a totally different system and how the incentive structure works. So people were trained on compound, but in our system, because we want to limit that to some degree, it's not necessarily viewed as a positive or a negative. And what you're actually doing is you're just recycling virtual tokens inside the system. So to me, unless it's an actual fresh capital deposit or a deposit of other ARK, it's not a positive in terms of liquidity. So I view it from a liquidity standpoint, because that's what this system relies on, right? So you have to have entrance liquidity and exit liquidity, and if you don't balance those two, then you're at some point going to have a problem. So if you have people compounding to the racing to the finish, and they have a huge drain on the system all at once, that's a problem. So this is a more balanced approach, which is how I came up with the compound neutral, airdrop neutral. It's just a different philosophy than some of the other protocols. And we've talked about, could we rename it? A lot of people coming from the other communities are familiar with that, but then they get tripped up because it is calculated differently. So it could be something that we look at renaming down the road, along with maybe CWR, stuff like that. So
I think it's smart. I think it's smart for the system for sure, because you don't have a huge obligation that's building up and piling up. In terms of dropping your daily percent, which is of course from any comparison, the real world is spectacular, right? 1%, even that. But what I like is the fact that you can, I believe, based on the price, of course, that you can ROI while you're still at 2% before your NDV drops you to 1% if you don't do anything but compound or run the cycle, run your process. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, and that's I think the difference. One of the big differences people are realizing that we are kind of a pay yourself first. We give you the upfront rate to be able to get to your ROI faster, and then even if you drop down to the 1%, it's still a hell of a payout, as you mentioned. But even a small bag can grow to a little bit larger bag relatively quickly in the system. And then if you want to compound from there, at a 1.33 or the limit that you're allowed based on your level, you could do that. Yep.
I would correct myself though. It is great. but because you have the CWR imposed, instead of say like others, 1% a day is what, 32% a month. It would be at 16% a month because you have let's say you have a 1.3 CWR, 4-to-3 ratio. So then that would be around 16% per month. So you could see it dropping down from 37 to 16. So it'd be more than a 1% a day clean versus a 1% with a 2% a day with a CWR. That would be higher, 37 versus 1%, just a traditional model, let's say. But then when you drop down after your NDV goes negative, let's say, because of your compound neutral behavior rule, then you would drop down to 16%. But of course, this is great. Fine and acceptable, more than acceptable, because you're pulling along the way 3 out of every 4 times, or 3 times every 7 days, let's say,
Yep. And people are getting creative with their strategies on redeposits. And I think some people are rethinking that they feel comfortable enough to go out and tell friends and families about it because of the stability in the system. So I think we'll see a lot more people at least building small teams in this project versus some others that may not be too comfortable sharing the project with other people. So yeah, it's a combination of things. I think you guys, I've been in other groups where I don't have any access to the founders or the team members or anything, and it's like frowned upon if you ask questions and things. So I think other people are going to start to bring other family members over, introduce us to them, and we get to know them and we grow the community that way. And then everything that we're doing is, I think, at a different level, a different polish than we've seen that has a professional feel. So if you do have somebody that would be used to a more traditional financial product, and this rhymes with that. It mimics that in a lot of ways that they may feel more comfortable making an investment in it versus some of the other projects that I've been involved in as well, where it's pretty much, in a corner of DeFi that's never going to come out.
Yeah, but by the way, the redeposit strategy will work well work up till to preserve. The point of that is to preserve your 2%, keep your NDV positive, but up till 4,000 deposits, then you'll still hit that limit if you don't refer, for example. So that is helpful up to a point. I think that's going to work better for smaller vaults that may want to, for example, start to ROI first, great, and then possibly implement a redeposit strategy. Or actually, if they want to, they believe long term, then it'll be okay to ROI later a little bit if they redeposit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I personally, have, looked at it both ways. To me, I'd rather bring in fresh capital. That's just me. And redepositing for some people that want to go faster and maintain the 2%. For me, the 2% is not as critical, to the long-term success. So yeah, it's all just, it's all personal strategy, and, run the numbers.
What do you mean by success?
Well, for me as an investor, I'm not that concerned about maintaining the 2%. I'm not in a rush, So I'd rather put in a little bit more up front if I was concerned about going faster than rather redepositing and paying that additional tax back into the system. But, to each their own. So I know it's a strategy that other people have had in other protocols as well. So they're more familiar with it and they feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, but that 2% would be a difference of having 24% pulled per month versus 12, but roughly, obviously it's growing it's a growing vault size, but along the way, but percent wise, it would be like, you know what I mean? 12 days of 1% versus 12 days with 24%. That's why it makes a difference. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're taking out money and putting it back in. So it just depends on, do you want to have that BUSD back in your pocket, or do you want to put it back in the system? So I guess that's what you have to decide,
Right. No, of course, what you're saying is better, like, but
if it's a passive income play for you, and like we said, there's the best practices document walks you through that. You kind of make a decision about what your strategy is going to be. And if it's a passive income play, if it's not, if it's more of a, maybe you've got a wallet or two that you want to do that strategy in, and then another one that you want to play the long term with, and not reinvest the money that way, then that's fine too.
So what I want to share, what I know it's hard to get an opinion from you, but I want to ask anyway. So like if I want to run multiple wallets, which I do, and then, but obviously it's limited to capital, limited liquidity, especially in the markets now. But let's just, so I would, for example, want to put more in for the ARK after, I'm just thinking, after this price is stabilized or under controller, and then run multiple, because I would believe in long term, and I'm okay with I want to plant a garden, a bigger garden. I don't want to just have a little corner. You know what I mean? Like the whole row, like the row of plants, like multiple seeds. Those are wallets, and then have them start to sprout and grow over time is fine. And I want to know that the cost of those seeds are going to be controlled, meaning the range in your vault. The controller is going to control the cost of those seeds, let's say, carrying the analogy. So what would it would take this? What would you think? I feel like it's very tight to get in the NFT game with the multiple wallet strategy. It's tight. This is not even a whales play. This is a super whale play. To be able to do multiple wallets with NFT and top, have multiple wallets. You see what I mean? What would you recommend?
I guess that's what you would consider to be a whale, or what is a super whale and what's a whale?
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. Like,
I would say 40. I would say 30 or 40. Between 20 and 40K is not small, right? But then to really play this, you would need. I was like looking at it. Wow, you would need like 200K, to play big, like real big. You know what I mean? Like with NFTs and everything, and multiple wallets.
If you're buying like 5 platinums and loading up a bunch of wallets, I guess I guess you could play it that way if you had that much money and you wanted to risk in the system, right? So don't risk more than you can afford to lose. And if I don't see the benefit
between
of that.
10 and 20 would be big. 10 and 20 is pretty big.
Yeah. So I mean, if you consider that to be a whale, I know that there's other people in other systems that have a lot more liquidity in those systems than that, but that's fine. I don't really play those kind of what if kind of scenarios, but I mean, that's up to you to explore. I can't give you an answer either way on that.
It's not, I have an idea I have an idea. I would say people that want to play bigger would do, of course, multiple wallets. That become a standard, okay? And also try to do it as early as possible because of the time compounding effect. And in this case, it's cash flow effect. It's great. And so then you would basically be seeing, if I believe in the price will be controlled over the price, let's say a very, very likely scenario is the price will be controlled over the third pre-sale price, then sure. And you're not going to make it too high because you want to capture more liquidity. And you want to have more runway. You want to have more bigger war chest, stability and sustainability. So therefore, I would wait till for me, if I want, because I want to do multiple wallets, I would wait and get for long, see what the price is, and then go in there. I just feel that's better than for me at the top level than NFTs. The NFTs represents future value that's not fully measurable I can't forecast as far as opposed to because it's based on volume and variable things, as opposed to this, like the model of CWR, which can be automated too. That's why I like that better from an investor standpoint. That's what I'm inclined to do, and maybe seeing how quickly. I don't know, if I learn more about utilities, I'd be interested more in NFTs. I'd be about quantifiable things. If I can quantify more, see if I calculate and maybe understand better, actually, then I would be more interested in NFT. But originally, I would want more wallets as seeds. That's my feeling, and I think other larger players would like that too, to do more wallets.
We don't have
NFTs.
we don't have any analytics to go off of. So, early speculators are going to be rewarded because they're first, obviously. So it's a risk versus reward, and everybody's got to make that decision, like you are in your mind, and walk yourself through that scenario. And if you feel more comfortable putting a larger investment into the vault, then that makes sense. And then as you earn out that money, then park that on the sideline. As long as you're not redepositing all of it, then you could have the money available to basically get an NFT from the profits that you're taking out of the ARK vault. And that's kind of the idea. You could even put it in the foundation and let it build there as well.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah. No, I would take a portion and consider NFT like an accelerant to accelerate, let's say, a particular wallet, right? Because
exactly. Yep.
I don't know if you're going to have more rounds of them. That's why I asked that actually. Did you say that you will?
No, it's just going to be. There's no like rounds of the legacy NFT. It's just open market. Once we we'll do a pre-sale, and then we'll launch, and then they'll be live to purchase. So you'll have to watch if you're thinking about getting one down the road, and there's FOMO. You might want to watch the numbers there because there's a fixed amount.
Are they discounted? How much is discount and pre-sale?
I don't think. No, they're not. I don't think we're going to discount them. I think, and I haven't talked about this with Atlas, but to me, what it's doing is it's allowing team members or team builders to get them in place so that they can get their referral rewards when we launch. That's the real benefit of the pre-sale.
Yeah. So what I would do, just like you said, I would play multiple wallets. I would probably hold off on NFTs. I would play. Look, these pre-sales are cool that we're part of, and I joined and jumped on. That's great, but ultimately, it's kind of not really going to lower my average. I would say my entry average of ARK itself, considering I want to run multiple wallets later, and I don't believe you're going to have the price fixed very high unless you want to, because you want to maintain. I think you guys are conservative and want to have more liquidity. So I think it's going to be closer to the pre-sale 3, which is fine. So therefore, I would want to do multiple wallets. It'll probably have my average similar. Maybe I do a couple times more in buying ARK after I see what's control. And then I use I probably will not redeposit. I will just keep that running to ROI. And then use some of that to get NFTs, depending on what's available. Hopefully, we'll have some scraps of silver left for me. Be good by then.
Yeah, and keep in mind that people want to have those legacy NFTs in place as well, because we know what the buy volume will be like in the beginning. So remember the rewards.
Oh yeah,
pool.
I know that. There's going to be a chomp of sales.
If you're building, if you have a syndicate and you're looking 2-3 layers down, I think it's a pretty good assumption that the silver would benefit more than just the bond, and then you've got that locked in now so that you can comfortably move forward and not worried about trying to buy bond later or something like that if the price appreciates and or fluctuates, with bond, because that is a variable. So you have to keep all those little things in mind, that your reward levels with bond are not locked in, but it's a liquid investment. So there's a plus and a minus to it, right? It's liquid, so you could, if you had to, you could take it out, but the price can fluctuate up and down with the price of ARK. So there's some some strategies to play there. You know, if you're using the foundation as a savings account, then that's probably a good strategy where you're trickling in some, you know, BUSD or ARK every once in a while as you're pulling withdrawals from your wallet and selling. Instead of selling it all, you can avoid that 3% sell tax and deposit it into the foundation. So you're saving a little bit, and then you're getting a reward build up, and then at some point you could use that to pull out and purchase the legacy NFT that you want.
Yeah, I think that's all I do. I think I would do that. I would want to add more wallets, seed more wallets as early as possible, because
hold on, guys. Florida Realtor wants to step in. Go ahead, Florida Realtor.
Oh, hey, hey, Brett. I just wanted to, while we're on the subject with the reward pools, you had mentioned the ARK Foundation, which that's where the bonds get deposited in to make a yield. Just say if you know one of your wallets, you only wanted to go 5 deep, didn't want to buy a gold legacy, so you buy 1 silver and you buy 2 bonds. That way it'll open up those 2 extra downlines you need from the 3 from the silver, and you put those in the ARK Foundation and stake your legacy. Will you see I know there's a difference in price there, but will you see a difference in if you had equal amount, 1,000 for the silver and 1,000 in the bonds, would you see a different amount of rewards yield from the 2 different pool stakings?
Yeah, they're separate pools, and the foundation rewards pool is it just depends on how many people are staking in there, and then how many people are moving in and out their investment, because that's where a portion of that tax funds the rewards pool in the foundation. So they're going to be different, obviously. I would say that the legacy NFTs will probably reward better because of the buy and sell transaction feeding that 1.5% on either side of that into that legacy rewards pool. And in the foundation, it's just money in, money out, those taxes. So, it really depends on timing too. So if a lot of people are trying to get their level 1 after launch, then you're going to see more taxes pouring into that rewards pool, but you'll always also see more people coming into the rewards pool. So it's kind of a tough question to answer which one is going to pay out faster, or which would be a better strategy if you couldn't afford the gold. We'll have to kind of wait and see what the yields are on both of those pools to make a good decision on that.
Great conversation tonight, guys. Going deep into the system. I love that. I know this is helping a lot of folks that are listening to this recording. There's a lot of folks in Europe that don't participate because of the late hours in Europe. So, guys, I appreciate you going to these details. There is a question here for you. Brett M. wrote, so then round robin for someone I refer has me, my syndicate, and guardian above. So every third time I get the compound tax, is there also a tax that goes to refer? So I wanted you to give you a chance to go ahead and answer that for us.
No, you'd want to look at the round robin page that's in the white paper, and explains it pretty well. Basically, you're always going to have 15 compounds that go up no matter where you are in the system. So if you're 3 below the guardian, there'll be the 2 above you, and then 13 compounds into the guardian. And that's where the spark rewards that we've talked about come into play, where we take half of those compound rewards that go to the guardian every day, and we pay those out through the raffle or lottery system, whatever you want to call it, to all of the bond and legacy NFT holders, or not to all of them. They all qualify, I should say, for the raffle or the lottery each day. And then we're gonna give a lump sum that's paid into their principal balance as a referral reward. So it'll positively impact their NDV and help them maintain the 2%.
Admins, if you guys could go ahead and answer that via text to the Mr. M, we'd greatly appreciate it. Speaking of the Spark rewards, Brett, I think I found we got to find the right sort of like kind of like Jeopardy little jingle or something when we give away the Spark rewards, and I did find something I think is kind of cute. It's just an idea, but I'll share here with you guys, see what reaction we get. Here we go. Yeah, that's one idea before we start to give away the Spark rewards. So does anybody like that one or have any suggestions?
I mean, just to be honest with me, it didn't give me a vibe or didn't kind of connect or anything. Just my opinion.
Good. That's what we want. We want feedback from you guys. It's got to be powerful. I mean, we're giving away. I mean, that could really make a big difference in somebody's wallet. You know, maybe
do you think about the volume there? You just like Brett was just describing the round robin, it goes 15 up at first. You know, you're not going to have a bunch of downlines at first. There's going to be a lot of money going into that Guardian wallet to be given out at first until things build up where the round robin's shared with individual investors. So that's a lot of money going in there.
Absolutely. And who doesn't like free money? I mean, I never met anybody yet. Even billionaires like, getting some free money.
Show me the money.
That's right. Maybe we use that.
Are we getting billionaires in the ARK investing soon?
Look, I could see some institutions coming in. Definitely folks that their businesses are struggling and they're trying to keep the lights on and they want to diversify and be able to have some income to sustain their business if they do want to keep it open. Absolutely. I mean, there's going to be so much opportunity here for folks. I mean, shit, could you imagine a pension fund coming over to ARK? That would be amazing. They take very low risk, but
would there be a special type of account for them?
I mean, I wouldn't know. We haven't thought about that, honestly, but I think just a standard account like every one of us, because we all have to follow the same rules. We all have to play the same game. It would just be a matter of them, taking a relatively small position, for pension fund with, $30-40 billion, 0.001 of that is a nice little bag here to get a high return. And that would be beautiful. That would give us so much liquidity here for us. It'd be awesome. So who knows? Who knows?
The deposit wouldn't affect the price then, right? Because it would be under controller, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And they'll have to round robin as well. So that's going to be, it's going to be beautiful to see how this all plays out. But, obviously we're going for the average Joe, but everyone knows someone that's out there that's wealthy, that's got money sitting in fiat in the bank that's losing, value every single day and facing inflation. So it is a smart investment move for those folks that do the due diligence. So who's to say who might be coming through? That's why it's so important, guys, that we're here.
So
that are
go
ahead. Go ahead. Can't hear you, buddy. If you're talking, I cannot hear you. I think we might be having with the same situation that happened with Brett at the start of the podcast.
Hello.
You're back. Go ahead.
I don't know if you're going to make this IRA friendly for actually, it's probably not related because they have to have their own self-directed IRA and then invest with that, right? They could do what they want if they have a wallet, but some of these providers like IRAs, I don't know if you're familiar, they well, no, you were, so of course. So they usually have an account, a main account with it's like a custodian, but like a sub account at an exchange, and then you can't even move things around. I was inquiring about this before. for someone. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even actually control their own wallet, their own account. Like they can't even transfer in funds through that. That's a big deal, right? There were, in the last, they
Coming out really bad, you sound like you're in the Matrix right now, buddy.
getting such huge people reporting
NATO.
fat.
I'm gonna have to mute him. Yeah, that was really tough to listen to. Let's give him a minute, see if he finds better reception to come back. But yeah, great questions. Is there anybody else that would like to participate with us this evening? Maybe you have a comment or you have a question. We'd love to hear from you. All right, I guess not at this time. So Florida Realtor, sounds like you've already got a strategy in place in your mind.
I've got a little strategy, I mean, it's the way that this system is set up. I mean, just between the mechanics complement the game theory, so much, because it's just kind of like like the whole theme. It's just a fair, open playing field, from the beginning where they limit the amount of NFTs you can get to all the way through where they max the deposit 4,000. It's like a big whale can't come in and just sit and drain the system. I mean, it's just a well thought out program. So, there's a lot of strategies you can do, but I mean, just getting in and just experiencing the ARK, I think it's just any strategy is going to work. Some better than others. Just depends on if you need money to pay a bill or if you're looking for a retirement passive income. I mean, the strategies are there to accommodate any investor's movement on that end. So I'm just excited to get in and just dig in and just kind of see how it works and just listen to other people's experience, because I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people coming on the podcast and sharing their experiences, what's working, what's not. So I'm just excited to get in and see what's working for everybody, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it makes me extremely happy to see that folks like yourself have taken the time and you see the fairness, you see really the spirit of how the system's put together and why that really gives us all a fantastic opportunity to invest, to play the game you want to play. But even then, we're really encouraging the folks to get that initial back. Really proud of that. I think Brent's done such an amazing job with really balancing the whole system. It is absolutely fair, and we all play our strategy at our own pace. Not everyone has a lot of money to start with, but you can grow, you can upgrade, you can get levels that you can't afford today. You'll get them later. There's opportunity here for everyone, and it's like nobody's getting the short end of the stick, which you just see time and time again. No, none of the tokens will be out in the wild. That right there, man, I can't tell you the warm fuzzy feeling it gives me, Florida Realtor.
Yeah, I mean, I just reading through. I mean, it's the white paper is like like a real good like a good movie. You can go back and just continue watching and get something different from every single time you go through it, just to kind of digest it all. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the experience and just seeing what all ARKs can deliver. So looking forward to it.
Thank you, brother. And thank you for all the work you're doing, man, and stepping up and answering and just being here with us every evening, supporting us. Man, I can't wait to see your growth and to see you prosper here with us. I'm definitely very happy to be standing shoulder to shoulder here with you. Thank you.
I appreciate the opportunity. I'm just glad to help, my friend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there anybody else would like to ask a question, make a comment? This is going to be the last, I think, opening we have for that before we go ahead and close down the recording for this evening. We'll give it another 30 seconds. All right, folks, we have come to the end of tonight's podcast. We have been here for an hour and 36 minutes. Great conversation, great questions. And guys, we're going to be here again tomorrow. Please stay tuned. For those folks of you that are not here listening, I hope that you found this recording beneficial, and maybe some of the questions you had were answered throughout tonight's podcast. Thank you all that attended this evening. Have a great night. We'll be back 6 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. UTC tomorrow evening. Thank you very much. Good night.